I remember like Bill Lawrence, who obviously created it. I know this story because my old co-host, Jess Cagle, who ran People Magazine back in the day and was the editorial director of Entertainment Weekly, bought Bill Lawrence's house when they had moved, when he and Kristen Miller, I don't know, became probably super rich from Scrubs and moved to the next home. And he was like, I remember like touring it and then kind of passing the keys, but also telling us about the house. And they were like, our first meeting of the cast of Scrubs met here at this little bar area in this living room, and my daughter was a baby. And I always think of those stories that Charlotte Lawrence was literally a baby in diapers when Scrubs started. Now is like a full-fledged pop star.
Yeah, she was a baby. I mean, remember Krista was holding her. I think she was 8 months old, and we all went to their house for the table read, and I will never forget that night ever because it felt so special. Like it was a table read that. I mean, we could just feel the energy in the room.
Sure.
We're like, I really hope we're doing this for a while because it's really fun. I mean, that's how I felt when I read the script. I remember getting the pilot, and I just moved to LA with my best friend, and we never had plans. We were new here, and we had plans this one night, and I didn't want to cancel on my friend. And I had 2 auditions the next morning, and I was like, I'm going to go to this concert and then I'm going to come home. And I remember at midnight opening up the envelope for the Scrubs script, and my audition was at 9 a.m.
Oh my God.
And I remember reading it going, oh shit, oh no, this is like the best thing I've ever read. And I really want to be a part of it. And I have no idea what the other one was. I didn't open the envelope. I just focused on the Scrubs audition. And my audition
it was Mad Men. No, I'm just
kidding. Totally. And I went in at 9 the next morning, and they were like, can you come back and meet Bill this afternoon? I was actually the first person to read for Scrubs for Elliot that morning at 9. And then I went and met with Bill. And then it's this long drawn out audition process where you read for the studio and then the network. And now it's kind of, tapes are sent. But at that time, you'd be in a tiny office with 30 executives.
Right.
And
would it be when you're in a room with all these other people that look just like you?
Yep. And you all sign contracts for the next 6 years.
That. Oh God.
And so everybody knows.
And holding,
and you're all there, and there's a few Elliots and a few JDs and a few Turks, and then they're like, okay, you go home, you go home, you go home, you stay, and then they start pairing you
brutal
up, and then you get paired up, and then it's crazy. It's wild.
Did you do initial readings with Zach Braff and Donald Faison, or not until it was pretty much locked in?
No, we did. So
very early on.
In that audition process. So it was the 4th round of auditions, I guess. And by that point, you're reading was NBC at the time. And we were in this office, and Donald and I were there on the same day, and we both got cast that day, and they didn't find JD that day.
Oh, wow.
So they had brought it down to a few of us, and then I went and read with Donald. I ran and read with a couple of JDs. And then, so then Donald and I got the job that day, and then they kept looking. And Zach was part of the next round of casting. And so it was a really interesting experience that I had not been through before, where because I already had the part and they were doing chemistry reads, I came in and read with all the potential
almost JDs.
And there was 4 of them. And it was so interesting because I feel like as an actor, people always tell you it's the part's either yours or it's not. There's so much of it that is, you just either are that person.
Right.
And it was so evident that it was Zach.
Oh, wow.
On the day that we tested, before anyone found out.